Today we're in Immingham and we're having a look at the Immingham reception siding signal box built by the Great Central Railway for the Associated British Ports in Lincolnshire. Built around 1912, this has a power frame still in use, probably the last one in the country of its type, as well as a small panel added in the 1960s/1970s. We'll have a look round all the signal box and see some of the moves that are going on the day. And thanks to our colleague James for showing us around, and to Network Rail for letting us see behind the scenes.
Well, too big a reception. Shallow it for myself, fortunately. But essentially, you've got the up and down Grimsby's here. Motor operated semaphore signals, fixed distant there. That's York Rock's first signal in that direction. If that is only used as and when required. We get one train a week at the moment going on the up Grimsby, but sadly nothing on the down Grimsby at the moment. All trains to and from the shed come down the C&W loop line, which is ABP's. Reception sidings, yeah, occasionally we have stuff going in and out of the reception sidings, not very often, but we do get stuff in and out. Storage sidings, effectively doesn't get used that often, but it used to be known as A storage, and when Marcroft used to work, do all the engineering works for repairs on wagons. So when I first came here, I remember them always had a possession of sidings on there, and there was always bang, 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 saw, drill, weld, and so on. The shunt spur here, that's out of use, unfortunately, but I do remember the days of the old 08s going down there with all the trains for shunting purposes. 47 signals still in use, used every day virtually every time I get some from the shed. 83 points, SGE 36 volt point machines. Yeah, top winders. We've got 3 sets of top winders, 72s, 83s and 84s. What else have we got? Yeah, we've got 85 ground signal, 3 positions available, the up Grimsby, reception lines and A storage. And that's more or less the capacity of the frame, unfortunately. It's a 92 lever pneumatic railway signalling company frame. We believe it was put in about 1912 when the docks opened.
And a panel on the end.
And a panel on the end. Now that's something that was paid for by the oil refineries, believe it or not. I'm not sure what it went in, I think it was the late 60s, early 70s. And that controls both Humber and Lindsay Oil Refinery. Unfortunately, with Lindsay Oil Refinery's current situation, there's very little coming in and out there, but normally we'd have some of the great big long tank trains. Humber sees tank trains probably 2 or 3 times a week. Oh, sorry, 2 or 3 times a day, sorry, apologies. It's a very odd NX panel because it doesn't have auto cancelling on it. So effectively, when you set the routes, the train will go through, you've got to pull up and cancel the route.
Almost like Great Western.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So, got your manual point switches at the bottom there as well. It has a unique function on it as well because you actually have to have a slot from Lindsay Oil Refinery for going in, but then we have to give them the slot for coming out. Yeah, it's clever. Yeah. Humber, again, it's only at the top there. We then have to press the button saying train approaching either from the Alsby end or the Immingham end, and then they give us the slot so we can get trains in. But then they have to give us a slot to tell us the train for departure, otherwise we can't get out. Really clever. Lovely bit of kit that. As such. Then the last thing we've got is the IFS, or the cook panel, as it's known as. And this controls Humber Road junction. So effectively we've got the points there for the NCB, which hasn't seen the train in a few years. That's your main Humber Road junction point, which again controls either going to or from Grimsby or to or from Immingham West. So our main crossover, 211s, and then obviously we've got the signals for departure on the NCB. The main signal coming from Killingham. This is the main signal at the end of the reception line for going towards Alsby or crossing over. 212, which is your ground signal for coming back. But it will not let you go to Immingham West. It will let you go 4 routes. 1, 2, 3 and 4, but there is actually no route available from 212 to Immingham West. I mean, 213, which is the main signal, which, as you can see, has got multiple routes available from it. It's got calling on, it's got, believe it or not, it's even got the ability to run bi-directional between here and Immingham West.
Ooh.
So again, if West agrees to it, we'll set the route up, they'll set their route up. They give us the slot 280, and then we can actually run train bi-directionally over the down Killingham, which is fun. I've done it from both ends now. So yeah, which is great. Another one, not to mention while we're here, ambulance level crossing. You showed on the diagram there, but it's been out of use for about 3 years now. But it used to be able to use for access for getting in and out of the yard. Now whether it's going to come back into use or not, I have no idea. And then of course over here in the corner we have the wonderful, appropriately named, the grandfather clock, which is your ammeter, voltmeter and the trip. It's a lovely bit of kit, but it can be quite temperamental. My first visits when I turned up here, 3 boxes that we had on patch the area was Kidney Canal, which is now the Railway Museum, Immingham East, and obviously here. And for some reason they all had a broomstick in there. So I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're getting a new pad being built. Again, you can see this was a shadow it's for myself.
Big old yard.
There we go. You can see how big the yard used to be. There was a photo that was taken many years ago from the air, and I can't remember the exact year it was, but that yard was chock-a-block. I reckon there was about 10,000 wagons in there.
Is that a virtual dump over there I'm looking at?
Yes, it's a bit of an interesting story with that, because that's actually a power station called for Ratcliffe.
Oh.
I think ABP might have over-ordered.
Oh God.
But yeah, you can see from here, obviously, you've got the 2 main lines to and from the up and down Grimsby. India Romeo 87 signal there, which as we'll just come back into use. C&W route line coming down from here. Now we don't actually really control that, we have to ring the Immingham PIC and have permission to run a train down there. They'll tell us when there's one coming. And then we've got the throat here leading into reception lines. There's 7 lines, unfortunately there's only 2 in use. Regrettably, the others were out of use. But it's quite, they don't look it, but they are incredibly long. We had some flooding at the beginning of the year. We couldn't use the other end towards Royal, so we ended up having to put the tank trains actually in the yard, and I must admit it's quite interesting seeing 32 tanks going down the yard and there's still room for them.
Is that a gauging setup there?
It's, believe it or not, it's actually a coal scraper. When they were loading coal in there, they were getting complaints that there was coal going everywhere. It was all over the trapping. So they paid to put some coal scrapers in, so it basically, if there was anything above it, it would just go up and just make a nice, gentle, level load of coal. The MCB's got them as well.
Oh yes, you can just see them over there, yeah.
Yeah,
Stayed in some line.
Yeah, so that's sort of looking over. The one thing that's missing though is the old cenotaph, as it was known as. There was the old coal loading stage down at Immingham Loco. It was demolished a few years ago, sadly, because I believe it had concrete cancer.
Ah yes, yeah. Just salt added to the concrete to make it stronger in the war.
Yeah, and sadly it got to the stage it was becoming dangerous because because the shed had closed.
Yeah.
They demolished it, unfortunately. But it used to be a proper little sort of poignant marker on the horizon over there. You could just see the old coal shed. Sadly, it's all gone now. Yeah, but oh, how I wish it could be like as it was. I mean, certainly when I first started coming in here, many years ago, visiting and what have you, and we had this line here. We had 408 sat there chugging away all day, every day. Just sat there chugging away. The yard was absolutely chock-a-block. There were steel trains, there were all sorts of trains going on the up and down Grimsby's. The NCB was full, so Markov were busy working away. Trains coming from west, I mean certainly in my days at Barnaby East, we used to get the phone call, one morning we're full up, the car park's full, and that'd be literally every train stood from Immingham all the way through to Alsby. It was manic, and
So it is time to have a look at the lever frame, and this is the last surviving example on the network of the British Pneumatic Railway Signal Company Limited type slide frame.
83, demonstrate 83 for also. Nope. But this semaphores you can just pull at any time you like.
What are the little blocks?
They're the reminders. So literally, you come across and then just
Oh, socket underneath. Ah,
it's a
that's
little
clever.
reminder.
Now, there are a few things to look out for in this frame. You'll notice the SG additional locks on the top of the back of the frame, but there's still the original locks inside the frame itself on the lock coils you can see there in the picture. A couple of things Jim was telling us. For the point indication on the motorised points, you have two sets of normal and reverse indications. One for the actual point itself and one for the dynamics. You can't get the locks into the fully checked position on the levers until you've got the dynamic indication up as well. A couple of other things, there's some beautiful woodwork to look out for on the panelling and also the actual catches on the doors. All very ornate, all very beautiful. In fact, on the power tripped switch, the actual lever that comes across from the door is a two-position switch. The first part locks the door, the second part actually goes round and then acts as the catch. So all very ornate and beautifully put together. Another thing to look out for is the fuse holders, the China fuse holders in the corner. And in the top corner of the box, trimmable neons.
That's it.
Put 85 back.
Yeah, that's all right, needs time now. Yeah, straight. Wow.
We hope you enjoyed that little video, and we'd like to thank James, our signaller, and the Network Rail operations staff from the Lincolnshire area for allowing us behind the scenes to see the operation of Immingham reception sidings.